inside.
Yeah.
With my banana fingers.
Yeah, so hi Beth and Terence. Again, thank you so much if you got problems that you want to share or your experience that you want to give inspire others, send to us and we'll read it. Hi Terence and Beth, I am glad you had an advice sections in your YouTube channel because it's really fun to watch you both on your advice series and also reading your subscribers' comments. I am China, single mother, 35 years old, a housemaid of a 65 years old British guy named Gary. But now, a girlfriend.
Now a girlfriend?
Yeah, now a girlfriend. Gary is married to a Filipina also.
So, wait a minute. So, she was a housekeeper, but now she's his girlfriend.
Yeah. So in other word, before he's a maid, maid and housekeeper. What's the difference of that time?
Well, one cleans up and one takes care of the whole house.
Yeah. So she's an housemaid of 65 years old British named Gary. Married to a Filipina, but his wife left 1.5 years ago to go with another young man. To go with young man? Bad cheetah. Gary was left nothing except a small pension, almost $600 a month, because all the savings was in the name of his wife.
Oh boy.
That's why, like that. When his wife left him, I was forced to stay in with him with my 10-year-old son because
She was forced?
Yeah, he was forced. I don't know why he was forced. Maybe he's a maid. She's a maid, but stay out. You know, because there are maid that stay in, stay out. You know what is stay in?
Stay in.
Yeah, you know
yes,
that.
Yes, I speak
okay.
English, honey. Stay in.
Yeah, because sometimes there are maid that only in the day. In other words,
live in,
live out. Stay in, stay out. In other words, like live in, live out. You know.
Let's get the letter, honey.
Where I am now. When his wife left him, I was forced to stay in with Gary with my 10-year-old son because he had a mild stroke, possible too much stress of what happened to him. Until he is doing fine after few months and something happened to us. I didn't regret, although I know he was carried away because he was drunk and flesh needs. Flesh? What do you mean by flesh needs, Han?
Yeah, we felt horny.
We're now living together as boyfriend and girlfriend once we are inside the house. Sleep together in one room. But once he got visitor, we sleep different room, and when we go out, we're maid and boss relationship. And that's what our neighbor also see on us. Only him and my son knows our setup. I asked him what his plan, but his answer, just be contented and be happy. I love him, but I don't want that someday he will just throw us away. Please advise me how could I gain strength to make a right decision. China. That's too difficult.
Well, it's not. It's not really difficult, is it? Because what's happening is he is having his cake and eat it, as they say. And anybody who wants to have all of the pleasures and none of the pain, or wants to take the gift home but doesn't want to pay, well, they're not being very fair, are they? Try going to a supermarket and filling your basket, all right, or your trolley or whatever you want to call it, and then going to the cash desk and saying, look, I do want all of this stuff, but I don't want to pay for it. And they'd say, oh, sure, that's okay. Off you go, sir. I don't think that's going to happen. So, what you have to do, talking to the author of the letter, is you have to make some boundaries for yourself and say, well, if we are either, maybe this is an option that you want to consider. Say, either we are maid and employer, or we are boyfriend and girlfriend. No two ways around that, you know. because if you are employed, then you get paid, and that's what you do.
Yeah, my opinion on that is she is in the difficult situation, because he was been in love. She was in love, but in the wrong person, or maybe the guy was scared to spread to the neighbor because he's married. But why is it? It's the wife that first place left him, right?
18 months ago.
Yeah. So I think you need to find a man that will be proud of you and not just inside the room.
Isn't this another case of putting a bag over your head or covering your face while you're being done? Isn't that what's happening? Like the man who came and visited the Filipina, and he wanted to have sex, but he wanted to cover her head so that he didn't have to face who she was. And isn't that what's happening now? As a matter of fact, when Beth and I were on one of our missions to help, we stayed in Cebu, and we stayed as the guests of an expat who was doing exactly what you are doing now. He had a very pretty young helper. That's how he introduced her. And this is my helper. And that's what she was. That's all she was. But we stayed there for a couple of nights, and it became very clear that she was helping him in a lot more ways than just doing the dusting, if you're with me. And when we had a chat with her, she was very upfront and very realistic, and she said to Beth in Tagalog or whatever language, was she speaking in Tagalog, honey?
Bisaya.
In Visayan. She said to Beth in Visayan, I'm not under any illusion. He could just tell me to leave at any time. Now this is a point, is that if you live with someone, you have rights. And if you live with someone and he enjoys or she enjoys all of the rights of a husband or a wife, then that has to be paid for in one way or another, in terms of your rights as a human being, as a member of a society that so deems that people who live together actually owe each other something.
Yeah, and it's quite difficult, your situations, because you fall in love to your boss, but seems that he didn't value you, because if he loves you, he will be proud of you, and he will he gonna show you, he's gonna allow you to introduce to his friends, to your neighbors, whoever that you're gonna knows. There's no hidden, and at the same time, maybe he was not been moving on his wife, on his wife, and he's trying to wait. Maybe his wife will come back, so
And then
don't
where
wait.
will you be?
Yeah, you will be thrown away, so you're gonna speak to him and says, look, what is our relationship? Don't just say that be happy and be contented. I want an assurance, because if you cannot give me that insurance, or what kind of assurance is that, then
Assurance.
yeah, assurance, then go fine, because
Now, what we're kind of missing out here is that it may not be possible for you to go. Maybe you are in that job and you think that you can't get another job. So there's a lot more to this than just simplifying it and saying, well, if he wants to do that and he doesn't want to recognize you, then just go. But when you're in a job and you're lucky to have that job and you have your child with you and he allows
yeah,
that,
that's another thing.
then that's another point.
Yeah,
But
especially
you
if
used to be an outside maid and housekeeper. So you've moved in and then you've got trapped in you're in the caring too much trap. Now there's another factor that should be brought in, and that is the common law. There's a common law. If a woman lives with a man, she moves into his house. After a certain period of time, then she begins to have the same rights as a wife.
Really?
Well, yes, that's right.
A common law wife.
That's why they call them a common law wife. It's a common law marriage. And certainly in California, you don't say where you live, does she?
No,
She doesn't say where she lives.
She didn't.
If you're living in California, he is protecting his legal rights. Not that it sounds like he's got much left from what you say. That you say that he was left broke and in a bad way, stress-wise, had a stroke. And it seems like you've come in and you've saved the day. You've moved in. You've given up all of your rights. So you really, nobody can tell you in any of these letters that people write to us and ask for our input. No one can tell them what to do.
Yeah.
It's not our job to tell you, well, leave him. I mean, no question about it, just leave him. You can just walk out the door. We know it's not as simple as that. What you need to do is to look at the options. Do you wish to continue the relationship as it is? Evidently you don't, because you've written here.
Yeah, so you need to decide. Talk to him. Talk to him and says that what is my position in this house. Do I am just a person? Do I am just a woman that you can just you just can have when you wanted it? That's how
She's already spoken to him about that, and his
you deserve more than that.
Yeah, but his answer was, oh, just be happy.
Answer him, you deserve more than that. You need to have an assurance, and just speak to him. Maybe he's scared, maybe that man is scared to go into commitment because he's scared that you're gonna leave him also, so maybe there's a side of don't want to commit, because he's already have a trauma on his wife who bring his money away, so maybe you both talk to each other and explain, if you love me, I love you, you love me, then we need to have an assurance that we're being committed to each other, and be proud of me, because I am proud to you. I could speak to the whole world that you're my boyfriend, and once it's happened, and once you settle and him, he gonna be proud of you. Then you need to go to the legal aspect, because it's so difficult. That's another difficult if you're in a relationship with a married man or married woman here in the Philippines, because there is a law against on that.
Are they in the Philippines?
Yeah, because he said he's a maid, right? And he got a son.
Well, honey, they have maids in. Oh, yes, if she is in the Philippines, she would be able to have her son with her.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the guy that we're talking about. Oh, no, she didn't. The one we're talking about didn't have a son, did she?
Right. So that's one thing.
She doesn't say whose the son is either. That's
because
another point.
I don't think that there's a maid in America or stay in and stay out. There is?
Yes, there are.
Let's assume he's a Filipino and here because
Well, because of the child, that would indicate that they are that, because I doubt that she would have been able to. Well, then again, she could have gone to America as a domestic help and had a child there.
Yeah, but the ex-wife is with a young Filipino.
Oh,
with
is
his
that
money,
what was said?
with his money,
Okay.
with his money.
All right.
Yeah, and also advice to a foreigner,